Welcome to the Drunkard's Path. For those who have just joined us for the first time or are relatively new to our channel, my name is Shelley, and I and my son have an online quilt shop called Drunkard's Path. You can find us at drunkardspath.com, and we sell quality fabrics for quilting and just some bags or wall hangings, you name it. Anything you want to sew, we have those fabrics. We have hundreds of bolts, so go have a look and see what we have there. We have some notions and patterns, and and there's some cross stitch stuff, not a lot, but a start. Let's just say that I'm working on you guys every week to see if I can get more and more people into the cross stitch world. But actually, just on that side note, we did have our class the other day. We had some ladies come over to the shop here, and we had a really good time, and I showed them some cross-stitch skills, and I'm hoping that we can do it again. I was contacted afterwards saying, oh, how lovely it would be to have like a sit-and stitch sort of thing maybe once a month, and I thought, wow, that'll be a lot of fun. So something to look forward to. Anyway, this is video number 48, and we are coming on our second anniversary, which, I mean, wow, and we're still here. Oh, geez. So we're pretty excited about celebrating that, and to mark that milestone, we are having a sale, and it's the 2025, so we're having 25% off everything in the shop, and that will start April 1st, and it will go until April 19th. Now, the reason why we have them go a couple weeks is because we give people time to see the video and maybe respond to the sale. So if we just said it was only 2 days or something like that, I don't think we get enough people to really know what's going on. So we'd rather do it a couple weeks, and that way everybody can take advantage of this great opportunity. So on your checkout, once you've purchased things on the checkout, you put the code in DP25, and that will automatically give you 25% off. So happy shopping. I just want to touch very briefly on what's going on in the world with the economy. Now, right now, as it stands, we're keeping our prices set at what everything is listed on our website right now. If that changes down the road, then we will let you know in plenty of time. But I just thought it would be a good idea to let people know that, like, we are a Canadian shop, and we hope we get a lot of people coming onto the site and purchasing our fabrics and whatnot. But again, like, we have very reasonable prices for the good quality of fabric that we do have. But we have Riley Blake and Moda and just a variety of different fabrics. So I just wanted to let all the people that know that come onto our site, we're going to keep those prices the same for as long as we possibly can. So if it, like I said, if it changes, we will let you know. Stay tuned for the second half of this video. I'm going to show you how to make this really cute little, it's called a Poochie bag. And this is a tutorial that will be shown on the latter half of the video. And it's a perfect size. So you can put your notions, let's say if you wanted to go to a retreat, because it's got 2 pockets. And also, with Easter coming up, what a lovely little thing to make for the little ones. They can put their Easter treats in here, and you can make it with really super cute Easter fabric. So stay tuned for this. It's coming up. Okay, last video, we pulled a name for this charm pack. And the winner for this is, let me see on my notes, Cindy Kurtz 2191. So Cindy, could you please drop us a quick email at support@drunkardspath.com so we can get your physical address so we can send this out to you? Greatly appreciated. And with spring coming in, it's a joke, why not give away a fall pattern? So this is our prize for this video. So if you could please subscribe, leave a comment, and hit a like, you will be in the running for this pattern. So we love reading your comments, and if you don't leave a comment, you can't be in the running for the prize, because there's no other way to choose. If you hit only like, then we can't see you. So leaving a comment would be just great. And it could be anything, like, you know, just maybe what you'd like to see in our video. Who knows? Just leave that comment. And thank you so much for all the people that have subscribed. We are just really, really appreciative. Okay, for the last couple of months, we've been advertising that we have our big giveaway. We do this once every 3 months. So we're going to give this quilt kit away. It's got the jelly rolls, some yardage, and a pattern in here. And on here, I have got, it's a random number counter, or a random number selector. So we have all the people, all the numbers, from a certain range from January 1st until now, and this is how we choose our winner. So I'm just going to hit generate. The number coming up is 81. So our winner is Carol Ann Gillum. And I hope I'm pronouncing your last name right. It could be Gillum, but I apologize if I have said it wrong. But Angelus will write it down here so you can see your name. So again, please contact us at support@drunkardspath.com, and we will get your quilt kit right out to you. Thank you so much, and stay tuned because we're going to have another big prize for the second quarter of the year. Okay, what have I been working on? Well, actually, there's a little bit here, so we'll get through this real quick. This first one that I've made is a wall hanging, and I used my Scrappiness is Happiness book. I grabbed 2 blocks out of here, and I made a really nice, more summery, I guess, than spring. It could be spring. Wall hanging. So, this book is invaluable for ideas for it. It doesn't have to be just quilts. There can be wall hangings, table toppers, you name it, like throws, just all kinds of different things, pillows, just lots and lots of ideas. So we do have this book in stock, so take advantage of that. This is what I made. Isn't this cute? Okay, we've got your flower and your bee and your bee and your flower. So that made a really nice wall hanging just with 4 blocks. So I'm going to put that up in my hall to greet spring. And what I used a Sunflower collection by Lewis and Irene. So here are a couple of the bolts. And I'll show you 2 more. And there's a couple more bolts that there's only, I think, 6, maybe 6 fabrics I used. One, the darker color came from the Rustic Gathering. So that's just some ideas for you to try out. Tell you get your workout when you work in a fabric shop, because those bolts, they are not light. Anyway, number 2. I've shown this pattern last time that I made the wall hanging from this quilt. Again, I only took the flower out of here. I didn't make anything else. I just made I think there's 3 of these flowers. I put them all together, and I have now got it done, fully quilted. So that is what that one looks like. So there's 1, 2, 3 flowers, and how pretty. Very, very spring-like. So again, that one's going to go upstairs. And so you don't have to make a whole quilt. You can just make it just like that. There's the back. So, and that didn't take very long at all. And now here are my Riley Blake 2025 block challenge. So we go with number 7. By Vicky McCarty. What that block looks like. And my version looks like this. Number 8. This one was nice and simple, which I can appreciate that. This is by Karen Walker. This is block 8, which means we're halfway through with the blocks with this one. And number 9, Halo Star by Jill Finley. This one was a little bit more of a challenge, but all in all, 1 step at a time, and it wasn't that hard. So that's number 9. So I think there's 7 blocks to go. And then we put it all together. So there's that one. My temperature quilt, it's taking shape. Wow, it's looking pretty good. This is what the page looks like that you color in, you fill in for each day at the high and low. And this page, this is the one you fill in your temperature. So all you have to do is look back at the history of your part of the world, what it was for that day, if you've missed it. Like I've gone like a whole week and not written it down. Then I just go back in the history and I can look and I'm like, oh, there we go. So this is January and February sewn together. So I'm just going to hold it up like this so you can see the pattern starting to form. And then that's the bottom. Sorry if it's moving around a bit. And this is my start for March. So we got it halfway through March. See, look at this. Look at this. The color change. The weather's getting a little warmer. So you'll see that it'll go from these blues and purples into yellows, oranges, reds. It's going to be in the middle of it. It's going to be very, very bright. So I am really, really looking forward to seeing how that one turns out in the end. That is the Bernina temperature quilt. Okay, I have a little wall hanging that I made, and this I got from the Featherweight shop, which I will list below the link for this. This is so cute. This is so retro. It's this little template of a dog. Now you can make the whole quilt. I just wanted to make a little wall hanging, and what I did was I applicate. So what I used that, I have a light table, so I turned it the opposite way on the light table, and I put a piece of it's an adhesive. It's on like a page, an 8.5 by 11 page, and you peel off the paper once you stick it onto your fabric, and then you're ironing on your fabric to the top of the background that you're going to use. So you just have to trace out these pieces, which I did, the bow and the body and the eyes and the nose. And then what you do is you can embroider where the legs are. You can see the legs and on the bow. So this is how cute this one turned out. Isn't that sweet? Now I was thinking like for a little girl's room or something. How cute is that? Where you can see the eyes, the nose. And what I did was I did not hand embroider. I used my machine. There's like a triple stitch on there, and it just, boy, it did a really good job, and it was such a time saver to use that stitch on my machine. So, and I just did a blanket stitch all the way around on the colors of the fabric, so you had to switch your colors out. But this is what you get, and I just think it turned out really, really sweet. There's also a little cat. So if you were not a dog person, you're a cat person, this is what they have there. Again, these are free downloads, so go have a look. I do have a completed quilt top. Again, it came from the Scrappiness is Happiness book, and it just needs to be quilted. So I'm going to hold this up. This is my completed quilt top that I did on my Featherweight. Okay, step more this way. And this is what it looks like. Isn't that nice? I'm making this for my granddaughter for when she graduates to her toddler bed, which will probably be in the summer sometime, but here, we'll just bring it up a little bit more. And you can see the pattern, the chain going across, and I just used nothing but scraps on this, and then I just used some yardage for all the way around. So I can't wait to get this one completed. I'm going to be bringing this to my long armor later today. Okay, we just have a little bit of cross stitch I want to show you, or actually my crossover between quilting and cross stitch. I think I showed you last time the Happy St. Patrick's Day free chart. This was by Primrose Cottage, and again, you have to go to their website, sign up for their newsletter, and you will get these free charts that come out once a month, and they'll give you the link if you sign up for the web page or to their newsletter, and it comes out as a link. So you just scroll to the bottom of their newsletter, and they're actually really cute patterns. So I made mine. I think I showed you the start of my stitch, but this is what I ended up doing with it. So this is the pattern right here, the chart that I did, the completed piece. So I just added this is some Celtic fabric, and then I made these little shamrocks and put a nice green border on it. And this is what the completed piece looks like. So again, you can just do your cross stitch, just a little bit of quilting, a little applique, and you have this nice little like kind of like an ornament, I guess, but more a little tiny wall hanging that you can put out on for St. Patrick's Day. I just wanted to show you. This one is so cute. I think I can't remember where I got the pattern. It was like a little April, and it had a couple of bunnies on it. It looked like a postage stamp chart. It was probably about 5-inch square or something. But then I saw this other one where it just says April, and it's got an Easter basket. So I decided to make this little pillow with the little ends, the ribbon on it, and see the back, the pretty little fabric. So just something that says spring. So I'm just gonna put it behind me on my shelf. They're getting full, but that's okay. We just add more. We've got a little bit of rickrack on here. It wasn't hard to make. Very cute. So again, something you can do with a small cross stitch, and this is how you can make a nice pretty finish with it. Now I keep everything, I think I told you a couple times, into my book of days. So each time I write down what project I worked on that day, add a few stickers, and it keeps a really nice diary journal of what you're working on. So I just wanted to show you just a couple things. This is a new start, but it's so whimsical and so funny. And I've had it kitted up, I'm going to say about 2 years. And I finally pulled it out and I went, no, I want to do this. This was called the Quilted Witch. And look how many really bright colors are in there. Isn't that fun? So I got a good start on it. So this is my start. Right here, just doing the stars up here. But look how nice that looks. How colorful. That I'm really looking forward to finishing. It is a fun stitch to do. So I'm going to keep going with that one. The next one that I worked on, I guess probably about 7 days. It's just one I really got caught up in. Is called the Scarlet House. It's by the Scarlet House. I'm sorry, Sarah A. Sanderson. So this one is done with these beautiful silks, and I'm telling you, they are silky, and they just really nice to work with. And I saw a tip that I was watching one of my videos this morning, when I say a floss tube, and I saw somebody who, when you put your threads on your ring, she had a tag on it that actually had the project you're working on. So if you've ever lost, or not lost, but maybe your threads got separated from your actual project, this is a really good idea to have the project name on it. Then you go, oh yeah, that goes with my whatever. Because I mean, when you get as many projects going as I do, that's something that you could easily do. So I'm going to be writing every one of my rings here. I'm going to put the project name on it, so there'll be no worries about if they ever got separated. So this is how far I got with this one, and I just think it is turning out so pretty. And there's still a long way to go, but we got a good jump on that one. I'm almost all the way across. There's a little bit more, then we've got the alphabet there, and then we'll get into like the deer and the bird and the houses down below. But boy, I tell you, that red is something else. It is really good contrast, and I think it looks super. And I just have to show you my progress. I don't have the bag down here. On my a winter Quaker, or Christmas Quaker. I think that's what it's called. And I've made some really good progress with this one. So this one's about 2/3 done. I've been working on it the last couple of days. And it actually stitches up pretty fast when you get going on it. It's mostly the one solid color, but it's got, you got your red and it's a little bit of gold. So I did all this over here in the last couple of days. So I'm just working up here on this motif, and there's probably go to where my finger is. So it's a good size one, and when it gets done, I'm going to frame this one for sure. But I'm really hoping to get this one done by Christmas this year, because I love to have it hanging up for Christmas time. And now here's the tutorial on how to make this little Poochie bag. I want to start by saying that this pattern for this tote bag is a paid-for pattern. So I'm going to show you step by step on how to make it. I just can't give you the dimensions. What it takes is 3 fat quarters. So one of the fat quarters is for the handles, for the outside of the bag, and wait a minute, and for the lining inside. And these are for the pockets. They're going to go on each side, and I have chosen to put batting for a little more stability. So let's get started. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start by making the handles. Now, with the 3 fat quarters, you can't cut a whole width of fabric. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew the 2 pieces together. And how I'm going to do it, instead of sewing like this, the 2 pieces, you're going to get a straight seam and it will not be as strong. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and do it sideways or diagonally. And I'm going to go just a little over, and you can just see the edge there. And I'm going to go from that corner to that corner, and I'm going to flip it up like that when I'm done, and you're going to have a nice strong seam. So I'm going to do that to both handles, and then I'm going to show you, I'm going to iron it, but I'm going to show you step by step on how I did that. So, okay, here is your handle. I'm going to just unfold it. I'm going to show you, this is where I joined it. And what I did was I folded in at each end, 1/4 inch on both sides. And what I did was I folded it in half, and after you can see the crease, and then I folded that side into the middle and that side into the middle. I always leave a little gap. I don't like touching it because it gets too much bulk when you go to fold it over. So the next step is I'm going to start sewing on one of the ends here, and then all the way down along the opening. Okay, and I'll do that for both sides, and we'll get on to the next step. Here are the handles, sewed really close to the edge, about 1/8 inch, and across. So here's it, both handles ready to go. So next, I'm going to sew. We got your front and back. Or sorry, your front and your lining. So I'm going to put the batting on. I'm going to add it now. Now, when I forgot to tell you at the beginning that I starched this fabric. So when you starch fabric, it actually shrinks just a tiny bit. So this bag is probably going to end up being about close to 1/2 inch narrower than what it calls for. But that doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. But just to let you know, if you do starch, you have to kind of saturate your fabric. It will shrink. You can see it actually shrinking as soon as you start spraying your starch on there. So I'm going to sew these end to end. So right here across, I'm going to sew those together. And it's for the front and the back. So we'll do put the lining, the batting, and then we'll put the 2 sides, right sides together. And we're just going to sew 1/4 inch across on both of these. And for the pockets, we're going to do the same thing. So we might as well get that part done as well. Now remember, if you have directional fabric, make sure that you have things going the right way. If you're going to sew that seam, and it's going to open up, you want to make sure that whatever is on your fabric, if it is if you had fussy cut and you have maybe a person or a face or something on there, make sure it's faced up the right way. So mine, it doesn't matter, it's not directional. So I'm going to sew those together, and the pocket for the other side, I'm going to go 1/4 inch seam, and I'll show you the next step when I get these done. Here are my pieces. I've sewn them together, just pressed open. So that's the lining, that's the outside. So the front and the back. And then here are the pockets. Now this is what I did with the pockets. We sew those together here. There's our seam. And then I top stitched it here. That's personal preference. I just think it looks neater, and it's going to hold it down nice and flat. So now it tells us I'm going to take one and lay it like this. Okay, so what it calls for next, okay, we're going to just kind of center that. We're going to see how much we have here. That's a little bit more that way. So it's pretty much the center. And what I did was I have the lining fabric for the outside of my pocket. Now you can put it the other way if you want, but I think it looks nicer when you have the 2 different fabrics. So, and next I'm going to do is I'm going to sew a line 1¼ inches from the raw edge up, and I'm going to top stitch straight across here because I'm going to make boxed corners, and that's going to flip underneath, so there's no point having that pocket going all the way down. So again, I'm going to mark it with a friction pen, which goes away with heat, and I'm just going to sew straight across that on both the front and the back. You can see that I've top stitched it down across here. So the next thing we're going to do is, let me see, we're going to take our handles and we're going to start at the bottom. Okay, and this is the part where we don't want to twist. So we're going to center the handle, see the seam is, we're just going to center it there and go up. And what we're going to do is we're going to stitch on both sides that handle to secure it in place up to that line, to the seam line right here. Okay, we're going to do that to both sides. So here are our handles stitched in place. You can see they are not going anywhere. Here's our pocket. So next we're going to take a front and the back and make sure that the handles are up. And what we're going to do, I'm going to use my clips to clip around where the batting is. Okay, this is the lining area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure it all the way around with pins and with my clips. And I'm going to leave about a 3½ inch gap right here in the lining so I can turn that through afterwards. Okay, so what I'm going to match my seams. Okay, so we'll get a clip. Let's just clip that into place. This one on this side as well. Let's make sure we get them matched as well as we can, and we'll clip that one into place. Okay, so that is important, is get your seams to match up. And then I'm just going to do that all the way around. I'm going to stitch it and I'll come back with the opening and we'll do our box corners after that. So here's our sewn bag all the way around. Here's our opening down on the lining side. So now we're going to make the boxed corners. So I think I'll try on this side. So we have to just pinch it open, grab it, and we're going to, well, this could be a little tricky, from where the seam is. Okay, we're going to just mark in 1 inch from where that mark is, from where it opens. Mark 1 inch in, and we're going to draw, I'm just taking my little ruler upstairs. Okay, so just from 1 inch in, we're going to draw a line like that across there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to sew across that line. So, and then I'm going to snip it off. So we don't want all this bulk in there. So that's going to make a box corner. I'm going to do that on all 4 of these corners. And then we're almost done. We'll put our bag through and close this little gap here. So I'll do the box corners and I'll be back. Okay, let's turn our bag through our opening. Hopefully I left enough opening. Just keep pushing through. Okay, push through, push through. Okay, so I'm going to stick my hand in here with my point turner. Go all the way down to the edge and just kind of just gently turn in the edges or the point of the corners here. Ooh, one I got pretty good, the other one I was off, but oh well. I've never done this bag before, and that was a little bit hard to do those box corners. The inside I got pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna take that now. We're gonna stuff the lining part back down. Okay. Oh, sorry. Before we do that, I'm going to close that. I'm going to close this up. I'm going to push this back down in, give it a good press, and I may top stitch around the top just to hold everything in place. And I will show you the completed bag once I do those last few steps. Okay, and here is the finished bag. Got your pocket in the front. Just a cute little size, but remember it was made with fat quarters. So you can definitely adjust the measurements and make it bigger. But I think, wow, isn't this cute for Easter? How nice is that to fill that up with some Easter goodies and give it to the little ones? It's just a perfect size for them. So that's it. That's the finished bag. And from start to finish, I think it took me an hour and a half. So there we go. Okay, well, thank you so much for sticking around to the end. We greatly appreciate it. And as always, keep sewing, keep stitching.